Hello everyone. Today I will present my research proposal entitled The Correlation Between Motivation and Speaking Ability of 10th grade students at SMA N10 Denpasar in academic year 2024 to 2025, presented by myself, Kadek Sukartini, NPM 075. In chapter 1, I will tell the background. Speaking as the most important skills among the four skills. It is important because we use it for daily life in order to deliver ideas, opinion, and so on. Then, from these four skills, speaking is considered the most difficult skills to build in the classroom. And motivation is one of the non-linguistic aspect involved psychological factor or internal factor. Therefore, motivation is one of physiological factor that represents consideration of individuals' belief that they are worthy, competent, and able to do anything. And the research problem will be, is there a significant relationship between student motivation and speaking ability of 10th grade students of SMA and Tenden Pasar in academic year 2024 to 2025? In chapter 2, I will present a theoretical review, the research variable. In this study, there are two variables. The first is speaking skills. Speaking skill is a productive skill that is mentioned as one of the most difficult skills if it is compared with the other skills, because in this case, the learner should produce utterances as clearly as possible. According to Brown, 2004, there are six types of classroom speaking performance. There are imitative, intensive, responsive, transactional dialogue, interpersonal, and extensive or monologue. The scoring rubric are fluency, grammar, and comprehension. The second is motivation. Motivation is a condition that exists in an individual where there is an urge to do something to achieve a goal. There are seven characteristics of students' motivation. Number one, positive task orientation, ego involvement, high inspiration, goal orientation, perseverance, need or achievement, and tolerance of ambiguity. The empirical review, there are two studies from Hasibuan in 2019 entitled The Correlation Between Student Speaking Motivation and Speaking Ability of Aftic Student at Ahad Al-Jamiyah in Padang Sidimpuan. And the second study from Yuli 2016, the correlation between students' motivation and their speaking skill at 8th grade in Madrasah Rambah. The weakness of those studies are the researchers ask the students to read their speaking in front of the class, and there's not time allotment in those tests, the speaking test and motivation questionnaire. It made the result was not pure from the student's ability. Therefore, in this study, the researcher will give the time allotment for both tasks, short descriptive monologue without read their text, and in motivation questionnaire. The hypothesis is there are two null hypotheses. There is no significant positive correlation between students' motivation and speaking ability of the 10th grade students of SMA and Tenden Pasar. Number two, alternative hypothesis. There is significant positive correlation between students' motivation and speaking ability in 10th grade of SMA and Tenden Pasar. The research design, this research is one of the research design in which teachers assess motivation and speaking ability through motivational questionnaires and short descriptive monologue for speaking tests. The reason for choosing this method is that the researcher wants to know the relationship between the two variables based on the correlation coefficient. The population in SMA Enten dan Pasar that will take 50 students as sample. The instruments, there is a short descriptive monologue where the student will be talking about the name of the famous people that they have chosen randomly, and they will be scored using scoring rubric. And the questionnaire, there are 30 questions all about motivation, and they should choose one of the best answer from uh, five options. And the data collection will be gotten from the 50 samples of short descriptive monologue that will be taken for 2 minutes each students, and from answer the questionnaire that consists of 30 questions about motivations. In data analysis, in this present study using prerequisite analysis, there are two kinds of that. There are normal and homogeneous distribution tests. The hypothesis testing will be used. The hypothesis testing is computed using SPSS 19 version 4 from Windows. That's all my presentation. Thank you very much.